Your home is more than just furniture. It's an extension of who you are, and the details matter more than you think. Like a rug. The right rug can completely transform how a space feels. And that's why I'm obsessed with my Ruggable. I went with this warm, neutral, boho-inspired design for my living room with earthy tones and a fun pattern, and it instantly made the whole space feel more intentional. Like, oh, someone put some thought into this. And what sealed the deal for me is that it's completely machine washable. Like my dog Mojo does not care about interior design, and neither does Red Wine, apparently. So I've thrown it in the wash and it comes out looking brand new every time. It's built for real life. Refresh your home at ruggable.com. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with promo code DATEABLE at ruggable.com. That's ruggable.com and use the code DATEABLE at checkout.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
In my 20s, I thought constant texting meant that a relationship was building. If we were talking all day, every day, I assumed it meant that we were getting closer. It felt reassuring, like as long as the conversation kept going, the connection was safe. But what I didn't realize is constant communication can sometimes create the illusion of intimacy before real intimacy actually exists. And the more nonstop the communication becomes, the harder it is to tell the difference between genuine compatibility and just constant access. The better question isn't how much are we talking, but what are we actually building? The difference between healthy communication and over-communicating through constant texting. That's what we're digging in today. I'm Julie.
And I'm Yue, and we're sharing what we learned the hard way so you don't have to.
Oh, the texting. I feel like this was like the death of me with a relationship or a budding relationship. If I didn't get that text, soon enough, whatever I deemed to be soon enough, I would lose it. Like I'd think the whole thing was crumbling.
Because that's kind of your lifeline, right? If you feel like if someone is texting me back, then they must be interested, or they are here. They've chosen me, or they want to be there for me. And if they don't text back, it is like throwing out a lifeline and then someone not receiving it and not reciprocating. And I get it. I think if you are so used to having that constant communication in your life, and if someone's not communicative, you kind of feel like it's life and death.
So, okay, yes, I agree that in today's world, we're like, surgically connected to our phones all the time.
Yeah.
But playing devil's advocate a little with friends, like if you don't hear from them every single day, you're not like, oh my God, the whole thing is falling apart. Like I get that you've created a baseline of security that you don't have with a date. But why is our expectation with someone that we're dating that we're like all of a sudden like constantly talking to them? Like, and if a day or two goes by, it like means the whole thing is over. I feel like it is kind of this like dating culture that's been created around texting that logically doesn't always even make sense. Like, why is it this way for dating?
I think it goes back to the toxic culture of dating where we feel like we're constantly auditioning and earning our love. We are asking someone to choose us. With our friends, they've already chosen us.
Yeah.
We feel secure in that. We're not like, are you my friend or are you not my friend? But somehow in dating, we feel like every interaction is a bid for someone to choose us.
And have you ever had those situations where you are constantly talking and it's like someone you really don't know that well, and then you're like, what are we even talking about? Like, what is this conversation? Or that every day, how's your morning going? Like, I remember getting texts like that, and at first it felt good, and then you're like, okay, now the conversation's stalled because we really have nothing to talk about. It's just awkward.
That shit drives me crazy. The how's your morning? Hope you
Right.
had a good morning.
And you
And
met like one time. Yeah.
yeah.
If at
But then
all.
there's like no deep conversation.
No.
And then you go off. I've had these where you go off and just talk about your separate lives. Like, I'm on vacation, blah, blah, blah. And the other person's like, yes, I saw my niece today. But you have no idea. Like you don't know anything about each other. And somehow that creates this false intimacy because you shared some personal details of your life somehow.
The how is your morning text is, I think it's like, it's one of those things that I think people think they feel obligated to do to keep it
Yeah.
going because of this, right? They feel like, I have to keep the connection going. And in some way, I like that at least it means they're thinking about you. I think that's
Yes.
a good part about texting is it's confirmation that they're thinking about you. But yes, it's not building any connection at all. And I think that you could have a situation. I remember I went on this date once. It was like before COVID kind of broke out, and we were like unsure of like, should we meet up or should we not? So I had this like long phone conversation, which was a little better than texting, but still for someone I'd never met before. And then we got there. He's like, oh yeah, this is like our third date because we talked on the phone so long. And I'm like, no, it's not. I still don't know who you are. And of course, like he meant it in a way like more could happen on the third date. And I'm like, oh no, slow your roll.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, it's not our third date where we had an hour phone conversation.
No, because it's still a getting to know each other tool. It's not an intimacy builder.
No.
And we mistaken it for that. But that's also really sly of him to be like, oh,
presumptuous.
Our third date. My God.
How do you feel? Okay, I have very mixed opinions on this. I remember a friend of ours doing this all the time, sending like random photos back and forth, like in the very early stages of just like him eating a burrito or like something super random. To me, I'm like, I don't need that.
I already have a problem with phone storage with the amount of tennis videos I have. I don't need you clogging up my storage anymore. Also with photos that I'm not, what am I going to do with this? Am I keeping this like for sentimental value? I don't care. I think it's better if you just tell me what you're up to, but I don't need these photos because we don't know each other, buddy.
I feel like if you have a bonding moment, and then someone sends you a photo of something relevant, that's very different than just like them going about their life. Like you said, at this point of your life, even if you've gone on a couple dates, you're not like doing your life together. You're like doing parallel lives. And then just sending like random updates of their parallel life. Like, I don't know. There has to be some thread to me that doesn't feel like it's
totally
or very rare. It can't be every day. I would lose my mind if someone was sending me that.
Oh, same. Like it'd be great if it was thought of you.
Yeah.
I saw this, thought of you, send the picture, or I was doing this and thought of you. Okay, there's something related to me. I guess the rule of thumb is relate it back to the person you're texting. That goes with everything in texting, not just like someone you're dating, but with your friends too. Just relate it back to the recipient, right?
Because that just feels like you're like talking at them. Like with nothing. I don't know though. There was this time, and I've talked about this before, where I went, we had this guy at our podcast. It was like, it was the first date he had been on in 12 years because he was coming out of a date, like a long-term marriage. He was coming out of a marriage, not a long-term relationship, a marriage. And it was like the first time that I felt like he was texting a lot, but I was like a filler person. Like it felt like he was using it as a bridge of filling a void and, trying to connect, but like it wasn't. And it's hard to explain what he was doing. And I really can't even like pinpoint it, but it was a feeling I got of like, I could be interchanged with anyone. And I kind of think about that as like the random photos or random updates that have like nothing to do with your connection. Like it just feels like they could be sending those photos to like 20 other people and like it wouldn't even matter.
I 100% have had that feeling. And it's unintentional. I think they're just perpetuating the habit of what they did in a relationship, and they don't know how to do that differently for
Or
someone
cater it to the new person.
or cater
It's
it to
like,
the new
yeah.
person. Yeah. Whatever habits you had in your previous relationship, it's very easy to carry into your dating life. But then you have to remember the new person has no context for what you're doing. So it feels very disconnected. I think that's what it is. It's like, this feels empty. Like you're just talking
Yeah.
to an empty shell.
I mean, I think the best thing you can do is have something that you two have discussed on your date or something that happened or something that you shared. And I also don't think you need to be doing like daily communication before you meet up. Like, absolutely not.
No.
No. So if you meet up and you really vibe and you're like, okay, this is something, having something you talked about on the date. And if you want to almost like manufacture it, you could ask for like a rec of like a restaurant or a book or podcast or something that you can follow and be like, hey, listen to that episode that you recommended. That at least feels like it's personalized and there's like a continuation opposed to super random. So I would say like that first and foremost. And then I do think, and I know this is easier said than done, because I used to really judge a relationship this way, we do need to separate it a little. Like, I think it's nice to know that someone's thinking about you, but I think that we put too much emphasis on texting. And like, if someone doesn't text for a day, it doesn't mean that the whole thing is falling apart. They may not really have anything to talk about. They may have like not be an everyday type of texter. So I think it's like having those continuous conversations and understanding each other better and like what works for the two of you. I don't think there's anything wrong talking about early dating of like, how do you like to stay in touch between dates? At least then you have expectations. So if like the person, isn't texting all the time, then they'll give you a call at the end of the week. You're like, okay, this is just the way they are. It doesn't mean anything about the relationship. And of course, like you work together to see what works for you as a couple.
Now, something we didn't experience in our 20s that 20-some-year-olds are experiencing today is the multiple touch points of communication. It's not just texting.
Yep.
So I've had younger friends tell me, well, he didn't text me back, but he liked one of my stories.
Yep. Yep.
Is that a sign, or is that like,
no,
is that constant communication? Or this is, you don't like the random hello, good mornings. I really don't like the GIFs or GIFs, like the back and forth of memes and no text. It's like, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, funny cat video, ha ha, link to this TikTok video, and there's no conversation, but somehow it's like, look at all these texts that we've been in constant communication, but it's not.
Even with friends, when they're only sending me like Instagram reels, I'm like, oh my God, please stop. Unless, again, they're super related to something you've talked about. If it's just random, you're like, what are you doing? I think Instagram and social media is even worse than text because it's like masked. It's like not even to you. Like you like something, it's like a very low effort response.
Yes.
Like if that's how you're keeping the connection going, like good luck.
Right. And I guess, do we need to be more intentional about when we want to have a high effort versus low effort communication touch point? I think throughout the day, you can probably have some low effort. Hey, how's your day? Thought of you, etc. But I think both people need to create some intentional high effort communication time. And maybe that is like, maybe we can get on a call tonight. I would love to hear
100%.
your voice, right? Or I want to hear more about that story, and I'm going to set some time aside so I can hear it, or you can type it out. I don't think we do that often.
No.
We just, like, you could be in a high effort mode, but the other person doesn't know.
Totally.
So then you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
I did this with my best friend the other day because I was like, she would just like ask me updates through text, and I'm like, I can't do this. And the timing was always off. It was like, 'cause she lives on the other side of the country. And it's like, when she's like, chill, I'm like in the middle of the work day. And it's just, I'm like, I can't give you this response over text. I'm like, can we just do a call every 2 weeks? We have like a set call now. And I do think that is missing. And in dating, like, I think it's obviously you want to hear from the person a little in between to know that like this is like moving along. I think when the opposite happens and you just don't hear from them at all, that's not good either. Like that that creates disconnection. But I do think it needs to change our expectation of what that means. Like it could be like checking in at the end of the day every night instead of like expecting them, or maybe in the morning it's like a little something and then it's expected they're going to go to work and you're not going to hear from them. I don't talk to my partner all day in the day. Like I very rarely do. It's more like logistics if it's in the middle of the day, or once in a while he'll just like be like, how's your day going? But it's very rare that I'm talking to him all day in the day. He has work and I do.
Yeah, yeah, I know. You're busy doing other things. But what do you think about in early dating? I'm so conflicted about this. So let's say you have one person who is like your best friend, who's like asking for updates, and the other person is busy or opposite time schedule, whatever, and can't really respond back, not in the mindset of responding back. Should that person, early dating, this is what I'm asking, should that person say, I'm sorry, I'm not in that zone right now. Can I get back to you? Or I'll get back to you tonight after work. Or should that person just go on with their day and then respond when they feel like they should?
Okay. So my take is, I think like if it's your friend, you can be maybe a little more blunt than someone that there's a little bit of kid gloves that happens with early dating.
Totally.
I do think like you could say like, I'd love to share that story or give you a bigger update, but like, let's do it when we meet up next, like for Thursday or whatever. I think that to me is like a very easy one. Like you don't have to be like, I can't talk right now. Like this whole thing. I also think like not responding to me is worse. Like that would drive me crazy. So I think about that. So, I think other people don't even respond the same way I do. Cause like that was my friend. She was like, oh, well, just respond when you can. But like for me, like I don't like that. So I'm like, I feel obligated to respond. So I think what I would recommend is saying like, hey, I'd love to catch up in more depth. Like, let's do this when we meet. Or let me call you later or something.
Okay, so this is a bigger question. Maybe it expands beyond dating because I find this so fascinating. We have this debate at work all the time. It's like someone will say, well, so-and-so messaged me, pinged me at like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I don't want to respond back because that's outside working hours. But then because they ping me, I feel like it's urgent. I should ping them back. And the person who sent the ping is like, well, it's a thought that popped up in my head. I want to ping you before it leaves me. And you're under no obligation to text me back right away or ping me back right away. And the recipient is like, but I got the notification. It is on me. Now it's something in my head and I can't sleep. And the other person's like, well, it's on you to turn off notifications after the workday ends. So I do wonder, right, if you are in dating, though, because you do this, Julie, you do like do not disturb, right? You turn off your notifications at certain times of the day. Should we just use that? Like, should we get in the habit of doing that more?
Yeah, I mean, I think the work example, like absolutely that person does not need to respond off work hours. And I agree with, though, it sets up a weird dynamic. But yeah, like if they are just not on their phone, then they don't even have to worry about it. I don't know. Some people do have do not disturb. I don't have it on my text, but some people do have that on their text. And that's actually like a good way to like kind of it's like a Slack out of office or like in a meeting or something. I do like that because then if they don't respond, but I don't know, it's hard because I feel like personally everyone knows that people are like looking at their phone all the time, even if they have that. So it's a little different. I don't know, but it is a double standard. You're right. Like at work, we have a boundary. In personal, why don't we have that same boundary through the work day? But for whatever reason, we just don't. Like it feels like we can be like constantly messaging. Right. I do think you can set the boundary of like, hey, it's hard for me to text during the work day. Like you could just say something like that and be like, I love like whatever, like I'm happy to talk to you after work. Let me text you on my way home or whatever. I think that is totally fine.
I think what also drives me insane is when people try to have a casual text with a very complicated topic. Like, you know what I mean? Yes. They want an update on something.
That's what my friend was. I was like, I can't, like, I give you an update on like the reality TV show I'm watching, but I can't like give you an update on like what you're asking me. I think that is, there's a disconnect of like the depth that needs to happen versus the medium at that point. Like at
Right.
that point, I'm
Yeah.
like, can we just do a call? Like I can't do this over text.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that.
People treat them the same way.
They
Like,
do.
what'd you think of Devil Wears Prada 2 versus how's your dad doing? Like somehow they get equal weight.
Yep, I agree.
And if one takes 2 seconds to respond, the other one may take hours. I don't know.
100%. And I think that's where the intentionality needs to come in more of like,
Yeah.
we're asking for different things. I do want to take a quick break because I have another like side of this that I want to talk about. But
Okay.
before we do, let's take a minute to hear from our sponsors.
Time to get comfortable with Avocado Green Mattress. Their certified organic mattresses are specifically designed to relieve pressure points, support your body the way it needs, and help you actually get the deep, restorative sleep you've been missing. Every mattress is made with thoughtfully sourced materials and built with real care, so you get incredible sleep night after night. I'm proud to say I can now tell the difference between something that's just marketed well versus something that's actually well made. Like if I'm spending that much time in bed, hopefully sleeping, but occasionally spiraling, I want the mattress underneath me to actually support my body. Am I spiraling? It feels like one of those grown-up purchases where you're like, oh yeah, this is what quality feels like. Avocado products are made, not manufactured, and thoughtfully crafted with real materials to deliver lasting comfort and support. Go to avocadogreenmattress.com/dateable to check out their mattresses and furniture sale. That's avocadogreenmattress.com/dateable. avocadogreenmattress.com/dateable.
For all my fantasy romance lovers, there is a book for you to check out called Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Rorick. It was an instant New York Times bestseller and started as a huge indie book talk hit. So if you've seen people raving online, this is the book. If you love dark romantasy, this one delivers. It's got fae, dragons, gods, shifters, vampires, basically everything you want, plus a really unique twist with modern technology woven into the fantasy world. It truly felt like you were being transported into a new world as I was reading this, which to be honest was the relief I needed for the crazy world we're living in. What I really liked too was that this series emphasizes mental health as the female main character is battling depression and anxiety, which ends up being a major plot point for the book. It's on sale now, so if you've been looking for your next fantasy binge, this is it. You can find Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Rorick wherever books are sold in print and ebook.
I feel like summer always makes you reassess your wardrobe a little bit, right? You suddenly want lighter fabrics, softer materials, pieces that look polished without trying too hard. And that's exactly why I keep going back to Quince. They make high-quality essentials like breathable European linen, washable silk, soft organic cotton, but without the insane luxury markup. I am literally dressed head to toe in Quince right now. Quince linen, that is. And it's basically become my personality at this point. I've got the linen tank and the matching linen pants. It's comfortable enough to wear all day, but I still feel put together on calls, errands, dinner, and even recording podcasts. And their stuff is surprisingly affordable. Everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Elevate your summer wardrobe. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/DATEABLE for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dateable.
Outside of just like early dating, I always think back to you, Yue, of like when you were saying in your long-term relationship, it got to a place that we were just talking so much in the relationship and like we couldn't let the relationship breathe and like have a relationship. Do you think, I mean, I think your answer is yes, but do you think that the same holds true for long-term relationships, that like over communicating can be problematic? I do.
There's absolutely a thing as over communicating, but there's a thin line because over communicating can feel very safe and you feel like this person's reliable and they're there for you. But then if you're just beating a dead horse, then where I learned the other day the term was flogging a dead horse, then you're actually not getting anywhere because now you're just speaking for the sake of speaking. So I definitely think there is a line of communicating and over communicating. But I also think what long-term couples, at least from my experience, lack is being intentional about when it's serious and when it's like fun time or silly time.
Yeah.
And we always create time for serious time, like we can have a talk, let's talk about this, but what if there was a way to say, like, let's just have silly time for the
Yeah.
next 2 hours? Like, nothing serious. Let's just get like our kid's inner child out and just have some fun. I think that would alleviate some of that over communication.
I think that's something I actually talked to my partner about, of like when I was like, I knew that this was like right with us, is because there was this one time after couples therapy, we like had this long conversation. It almost like derailed the whole like date night that we had planned, but we were able to like pack it up, repair it, and then like move on with the date night and like have a great time and like not bring that energy in. And I was like, that I think is so important, because you need to have the tough conversations. You don't want to just sweep it under the rug and like pretend
Yes.
everything's okay and then feel resentment build and all that. But you also don't, like beat the dead horse or flog whatever it is.
Yeah.
Flog the horse, whatever it is. Like if you just like went then on the date night and like kept talking about it, and it's just like there has to be a point that you just like let it go too and move forward.
And you and I have observed a few couples who've done a little too much communicating, too much of like hounding on personal growth and development of the relationship, that you forget why you're together in the first place, which is you enjoy each other's company. And if you take that away, then you're taking away the whole purpose of why you're in a relationship with someone. So I think it's so good too that you and your partner can compartmentalize. But I think the key in what you just said is you can't leave someone hanging. You have to say, we're still going to revisit this conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to this, but for now, for this time being, let's enjoy our date night and have a good time.
I think that's the key theme with all of this and what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave the person hanging, but also
Yes.
be intentional. Like, you can have the boundary of like, I don't want to disclose like this big, long conversation through text right now in the middle of my workday. Like, I can't do this. And I think there's a nice way to say it. There's a way that continues to foster connection versus like being an asshole and be like, stop texting me or whatever. Like, I think
Yes.
how you say it is everything. So there's that. And then, like understanding like some conversations are meant for different times, either together or if you can't be together, phone or video at least is like second best, because it's like not async communication. And then saving those conversations, using text for what it is, but also being mindful of what you're texting, that you're not just texting to text. Like text in a way that, like, even if it's not like we're going to go to our deep, dark fears and desires and like these big conversations, at least text in a way that will still like bring you together, whether it's like a shared experience or personal joke. Like, it can't just be random either, or you're just like spitting out info for no reason.
I feel like the text is the setup for in person.
Yeah.
It's not the finality. And sometimes we try to have these like big convoluted conversations over text. And my rule of thumb is if there's a turning point in the text, like something turned in this conversation, get on a call right away.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't try to find a resolution through text now, because something switched and we can't complete these conversations over text. Same with early dating. It's like you don't want to give all the information away, that there's no more curiosity about the person you're seeing. Build up the curiosity so that you actually want to see each other in person and get excited about it.
And we also need to level set on what texting and Instagram likes and watching stories and all that really means. And also like what's relevant relative to where you are in the relationship. We've heard of people that like, lose their mind and call the person when they haven't heard from them for 2 days. And it's like, if you've been on 1 or 2 dates, like you're still not a main priority of this person's life. It doesn't mean that you can't bring it up to them, but you don't want to just lose your shit for it. Like, it's not going to bring you closer if that's the goal of it. So have the conversations early about like, how do you like to communicate? How often do you like to communicate? There's nothing wrong with saying that early on, especially if it's done in a way that's not confrontational.
But you know who you can communicate with all the time? It's our studio app.
They
It's
will
our
never tell you to leave them alone.
It's our AI-enabled dating coach app, and it is always going to be there for you. And I actually kind of find it fun because sometimes it's like, okay, I don't need to be texting everyone, but I have something to say. You can text our AI coach and they'll have a response and they'll help you through whatever it is you're going through in the moment. It is phenomenal for anybody who's just trying to get something out, but you don't want to bombard your friends or the person you're dating with it.
Love it. Studio.com/dateable. Good plug. Love it. Love that transition. Anyways, let us know your thoughts. We love seeing comments on Spotify, or you can also put them in a rating and review, but 5 stars, please. Help us out. This is a labor of love, and we love to bring it to you every week. So 5 stars really just help us out. So thank you so much. And thank you for continuing to be with us. And hopefully this made you think about communication, whether it's in early dating or in a long-term relationship, a little different. See you next week.
Bye.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.